It can always get worse. That's why you have to be prepared. I'm Cole. This is my journey of becoming a professional soccer player, building a bootstrap business, and showing my path to self-mastery. I make these videos to help teach people how to create their ideal life. Today's video is focused on being prepared no matter what. Life can always get worse. No matter if you think you've hit rock bottom, it can get worse. I was returning to Spain after spending the summer in Croatia and stopping off at a trip in Italy. Previously, I had thought that I had secured a place to live for this next 11 months. However, when we got to the airport and on the airplane, we quickly realized that this place was a scam. My mom had been the one that found the place and had been in contact with the person, but they stopped answering her emails shortly before we had to arrive. We'd already put a deposit down for the place, so we lost $3,100. Also, we had to stop in Frankfurt on our way back and had a very short amount of time between flights. This happened on our way to Italy, so we were already prepared for our bags to get delayed. So not only did we find out we don't have a place to stay and we put down $3,100, which is just completely lost, our bags didn't make it to the airport. So all we had on us were our carry-on luggage. This was a very tense and emotional moment for myself and my family, but I tried to keep my own teachings and learnings from becoming the best version of myself into that moment. Instead of getting very emotional at the scam, my mom, the fact that our bags didn't arrive, or anything else, I knew that I had to keep calm in order to do what was next. The most important thing we could have done as soon as we got to the airport was find a hotel. So all of us immediately got on our different devices trying to find a place to stay for all three of us for the night. It wasn't as easy as it sounds, as it took probably about 30 minutes to find a place in the location we wanted where I would have to look for new housing and at a proper price. We eventually found one and then got our bags to be delivered to that hotel before leaving the airport. As soon as we got to the hotel, the search started. I had to find a new place for the next 11 months, no matter what. My parents had about 4 days with me, then after that, I would be all on my own. It took over a week in order for me to find the place that I'm now living in. But it wasn't even easy along that path. Being in the location made it a lot easier to visit and talk to a lot of different firms and a lot of different properties to see what would work best for me and my roommate. We had our decision down to our top two choices, but we're leaning towards one. But the real estate agent on our first choice was taking a long time to get back to us. There was a lot of good amenities in this first place, such as a pool, a paddle court where we could play soccer, a small gym which we could do some workouts, as well as a green area where we could do additional soccer drills. That's the reason that we both want to go for that place or the place we're now in. Eventually he does respond and we send all our financial information and documentation to the real estate agent, which is common practice in Spain. The next step would have just been to sign the contract, but unfortunately it gets even worse. The way that the property is managed is that the owner gives the right to a real estate agency, essentially sell each property to people looking for apartments. The real estate agent informed us that the owner changed his mind and instead wanted to use the apartment for his daughter's use. The agent also said that they had cut ties with that guy because he had been a problem in the past. Maybe we dodged a bullet, but still unfortunate because we had to go with our second choice. Although the actual apartment is a lot better in terms of size and comfortability, we don't have those amenities that could help us train. I think the major lessons that I learned from this experience is that you can't get caught up in the moment no matter what. You have to think about, first, you have to understand that you're going to feel some emotion when something goes wrong. Acting out on those emotions, lashing out at other people, or making quick decisions that could have very permanent consequences is important to avoid. I realized myself when I was at the airport that I was getting kind of emotional. A common practice that works for me is to take a deep breath very slowly to try to regain control over my emotions. If you have to make an immediate decision, it's important to temporarily let go of what happened and try to think as logically as possible. Not everything that happens to you is going to be able to just be let go of. So you have to find ways to deal with that, both short term and long term. In the short term, slowing down your breathing, taking deep breaths, or doing something that you know works for you is the best thing that you can do to make the next best decision given the circumstances that you're in. You also have to realize when you have heightened emotion. This is just something that you're going to get better with at time as you look out for it. If you are struggling to realize this at all, suggest meditation until you can get up with 10 minutes a day. You're not going to be perfect, and I'm still not either. Thoughts are going to come into your mind, but you have to learn how to deal with them to get you back on track to make your mind completely blank. Then journaling You can either reflect on certain points in your life and try to break down how you were feeling in that moment, or you could just do it day by day. Maybe in the moment you might not be able to recognize and understand what was happening, but that time at the end of the day or later will give you the time that you need to sit and think about what you've done and how you can move to work better in the future. You should constantly be trying to perform better than last time. If you have this frame of mind, you'll consistently become a slightly better version of yourself until you're someone who's completely unrecognizable to who you were when you started the journey. This experience over about the past week of me coming back to Spain and then trying to find a new apartment has just been blow after blow. Every single time I thought that it couldn't get any worse, it did. I'm still here today. I'm getting back on my grind for posting videos, and I'm gonna continue to get slightly better every single day. I know I have about 11 months to really prove to my parents and myself that I can make this work. In order to do this, I can't let these bad experiences completely control me, because negative experiences will always come up in your journey. You have to learn and become better at dealing with them in the moment so that they don't get in the way of becoming who you know you were meant to be. I hope you got some value from the video, and thank you for watching.